This program is proudly brought to you by Puma Energy and proudly supported by BSB, official sponsor of the 2015 Pacific Games, and New Guinea, exclusive carrier for the 2015 Pacific Games, and Coral Sea Hotels, preferred accommodation provider of the 2015 Pacific Games.
Good evening and welcome to Road to Port Moresby 2015. On tonight's show, we catch up with Samantha Kassman, silver medalist at the 2003 Pacific Games in Fiji and taekwondo enthusiast who shares her love and passion for the sport and her personal journey with us. We also catch up with the Pacific Games Council during their final visit to Port Moresby and get an important update and insight on keeping the image of the Games safe and secure.
And to conclude tonight's episode of Road to Port Moresby 2015, we highlight Port Moresby Nature Park's preparations leading up to the Games next year.
But first, Samantha Kassman, now she faced some serious health issues while growing up, had to pull out of school and developed a sensational passion and love for the code of taekwondo.
She also poses as a great idol and role model for a lot of people. She picked herself up, remained positive, and through competing, she's developed a lot as an individual and an athlete. In this segment, both Samantha and her family share with us her personal journey.
Born Samantha Eileen Kassman in the city of Port Moresby, the young Samantha was a quiet baby. Sitting comfortably on the veranda of her family home, relaxed and casually dressed, sharing obvious resemblance to mother Eileen Fabilla, Samantha opened up on her childhood struggles and her journey to becoming an elite athlete under the code of taekwondo.
When Samantha was a baby, she wasn't, she just sort of lie in a bassinet and just look at the other kids, running around, doing what they had to. She wasn't like these other babies where, they cry to get picked up or want to, look for that attention. Just lie there. So I thought, I was a bit worried. I thought, if she's a bit too quiet, I hope she's, there's no disability within her growth. But then as she started, from toddler, being a toddler, growing up, then she started chatting. The noise was starting to come up. And as she was growing up, she started becoming a chatter.
Sport, and in particular taekwondo, has been her life. Samantha explains from her early rough and tumble days alongside older brothers Ivan and Colin, she developed a more tomboy approach to life with her friends along the street.
When they're fighting, they gang up and they're fighting against their own cousins or street kids, just their little games, not a really bad, aggressive fight or what. It's just, calling names and that sort of thing.
Mother Eileen, her biggest support through her sporting career and in life, as well as the family's breadwinner, supported Samantha and the rest of her family in their dreams.
Well, it was exciting because I was working with TNT at Cargo at that time. And when they were traveling over to Fiji, I sent a text message to my girlfriend over there. And I said, my daughter's in the TNG team. She's be coming over for this taekwondo spotting. She said, okay, we'll keep an eye out for them. And, in between they would go out to the spotting field. I think she did meet up with her, Anna tried. Yeah, because she sent a gift over from Fiji. And she was the one that told me that they won the silver. So I went, yes! I was so excited. I wanted the gold, but I mean, that's the next best gold.
Her siblings, Colin and Edward, also played an integral part in Samantha's development, both personally and professionally.
I think she's very kind, very sweet person, and so she comes across as a little bit as a fighter, deceiving, because you don't know what you're going to get out of it. The first time I got to actually see her ability was in, I think, 98, 99, roundabout. We held national champs, and at that time she was very thin and fragile looking, and sad. Anyway, and she was put in a division with a bigger girl from a kickboxing team. And I thought to myself, I was the judge at the bench, and my poor sister. Anyway, after round 2, I think Samantha woke up, and it was a very different story after that. And she won that division, and I was just surprised. And from there, I thought, you shouldn't judge the book by its cover. And that's when I kind of decided that she's a fighter, so I can train.
Nonetheless, Edward has been very proud of her achievements. Like most high-performance athletes, sacrifice has been the norm, and Samantha has been no different. Taekwondo alone has been a very good disciplinary sport for Samantha. It has shaped her into the woman she is now and given her the greater confidence.
Taekwondo has been a very good disciplinary sport for me. It has helped me confidence-wise. It's taught me to stand up and be a stronger person. Having a family, guys, it's tough to be, have your voice heard of all the family boys that we have. But yeah, it's helped me grow in that sense.
Being part of a monumental achievement for sports in Papua New Guinea, Samantha was one of the first females to win a silver medal, let alone achieve a milestone for Taekwondo at the 2003 Pacific Games in Fiji. But the journey definitely wasn't easy. It all began when she was a high school student at Marinville and was unfortunately diagnosed with cerebral malaria. Samantha was forced to pull out of school and focus on her health.
There wasn't really any hardships with her. It's only when she was in Marinville, in her grade 9, and then she continuously was sick, and then I took her down to the doctors, and they said she had a full-blown malaria, which was putting her up in the brain cerebral. And I thought, I was just worried because her education. And then because she was always sick, and with the education department we reached your 30 days or something, and then you're suspended, which they did. They suspended me, and I said, it's not just that she's been absent for a no good reason. She's been sick. So I wrote a letter to the higher education and explained the situation, attached all the sick leave certificates and whatever reports, and then they came back to me saying that she could, but the year had already ended, and it was too late. She would have to go back and repeat it. So I thought I'd just keep her home and let her have it through FOLD or CODE, whatever they have, College of Distant Education.
As time went on, Samantha was forced back into Taekwondo again because of her health.
I was at Marinville, and I didn't complete school because I had cerebral malaria, and I had to leave school about a year and a half into it. And since then I haven't been back, just started working and kept going from there.
Now training at the High Performance Training Center frequently in preparation for the 2015 Pacific Games, Samantha's hiccups along her road to success have all been elevating for her individually and as an athlete.
We mostly, I think of how I want to fight, what I want to do in the ring. I try to have a clear mind and not think of so many other things outside of the ring. Just think of what I want to do, how I want to end the game. Because in the ring, I have control of that.
Following her memorable victory for her individually and taekwondo in 2003, Samantha has since developed as an athlete. Just like every other athlete, her performance, hard work and determination is dedicated to her family.
Oh, exciting. Because every time, even when Edward was small and he went over for his first fight in Melbourne, and one goal, and I said, well, that's my goal. So every goal they get is my goal.
An incredible woman indeed. Now up next, an insight into the anti-doping proceedings and how the Games Organising Committee aims on spreading the awareness.
The 2015 Pacific Games will be a marketing platform for next Games to come. One of the many goals to be established by the Pacific Games Council is to upmarket the Games and gain international recognition worldwide. With that comes the responsibility of maintaining a good image of what the Games represent: fairness, equality and unity, apart from showcasing the region's best talent. Prior to the Games, the GOC will engage with the Oceania Region Anti-Doping Organisation and will raise awareness through initiatives much like the Voices of Athletes, which has been done in previous years.
We contract the Oceania Regional Anti-Doping Organisation called ORADO, which is based in Fiji. They have member anti-doping associations across the Pacific, including here in Papua New Guinea. So they will work very closely with the Games Organising Committee in particular, keeping us informed as they go along to put the procedures in place for that program to take place during the Games next year.
The Oceania Region Anti-Doping Organisation, otherwise known as ORADO, is a regional office under the World Anti-Doping Agency. ORADO's key function is to carry out a number of duties aimed at furthering WADA's vision of promoting a doping-free culture in sport. Andrew Minogue, Executive Director of the Pacific Games Council, confirmed the seriousness in engaging ORADO to the Games, following the positive testing of 3 athletes under the influence of performance enhancement drugs in the 2011 Pacific Games. Prior to the 2015 Games, there will be tests carried out, bearing in mind that there is a 1 in 10 chance of athletes being tested.
It's an objective of Games Council, obviously to project an image of our Games as one where the athletes are competing on a level playing field. And the message goes out to all of the athletes through their NOCs or Pacific Games associations that we will be testing, and we will have a rigorous testing program here next year.
Through management meetings held often throughout the year, President of the PNG Olympic Committee, as well as President of the Pacific Games Authority, Sir John Dewanikura, has assured that team managers from respective codes are well aware of the banned substances under ORADO and WADA regulations. As the 4th of July 2015 draws closer, the GOC, with the assistance of ORADO, will be embarking on a drug-free and healthy branding of the 2015 Games.
the latest tourist attraction in Port Moresby and home to many of PNG's astonishing flora and fauna, the Nature Park, situated in the outskirts of Port Moresby, is in the process of preparing themselves for the 2015 Pacific Games.
In this final segment, General Manager of the Port Moresby Nature Park, Michelle McGeorge, gives us a tour of the park and displays the newly opened Hornbill exhibit, open especially in the lead up to the Games.
The divine, pristine and untouched natural beauty showcasing Papua New Guinea's unique species will be in the spotlight come the year 2015.
Port Moresby Nature Park is Papua New Guinea's leading botanical and native and zoological parks and gardens,
showcasing the best of the nation's flora and fauna
in a safe and picturesque setting.
As the days counting down to the nation's major sporting event, the tourism sector fails to make their presence known and how to go about packaging our diverse and unique cultures to the world.
So with the 2015 Games, there's obviously a really strong emphasis on the sporting component and the infrastructure that surrounds that, but a really important element during the event will be the tourism perspective. So we're going to have people from all across the Pacific, as well as Papua New Guineans from all over Papua New Guinea coming down to Port Moresby. And while they're here, they're going to want to see a bit of their city, and also too, they're also going to want to see about Papua New Guinea and learn a bit more about the country as a whole. So that's really when places such as Port Moresby Nature Park are going to come to the forefront and make sure that the athletes and the people that are coming to visit really can experience a bit of Papua New Guinea and get a good taste. So for us, our emphasis at the moment is really in putting a lot more infrastructure upgrades within the park, so that come June 2015 there's going to be a number of additional attractions that will really inspire people about Papua New Guinea and to learn more about its valuable flora and fauna and its culture. So we are planning to do a number of special events throughout July. So we are going to go under the sporting theme. So for us, we're thinking